I'd like to begin today by asking you a question. Does love exist? You're going to tell me, no doubt, of course love exists. And then I'll ask you a second question. How do you know love exists? You can't see it. You can't feel it. You can't prove its existence in a laboratory or scientifically. And you will answer me, I know love exists because I'm a human being and I felt it and I've experienced it. Some things exist even though we can't see them, or we can't touch them, or we can't prove their existence in a laboratory. So that leads me to the question you've asked me. Does God exist? We can't see God. We can't touch him. We can't prove his existence in a scientific laboratory. But we can say, as a human being, we've experienced him. Thousands of years before Christ set foot on this earth, anthropologists have found that peoples in all parts of the world believed in the existence of some kind of a God, a supreme being. Somehow, through human reason, and for what they've observed around them, they were able to say, there is a God. There is a supreme being that we can't touch or see, but we know he's there. Do you ever walk into a beautiful home? You look at this great architecture. You look at furniture that's beautiful, perfectly placed. You look that everything is neat, right where it should be, and you say to yourself, wow, these people must have had a great architect. They must have had a superb interior designer. They must be so organized that they keep this place in such great shape. Even if you don't see anybody, you come to that realization by looking around you. Sometimes we realize things from what we experience, not necessarily from what we can feel. When people say there's no such thing as God, God doesn't exist, I feel bad for them because they're living in a one-dimensional world. They live in the dimension of reality. This is what I see, this is what I touch, this is what I feel, this is what I can scientifically prove. People who believe in the existence of God live in a multi-dimensional reality. We believe in spiritual beings. We believe in spiritual places, heaven and hell. We believe in a spiritual being, supreme being, God. When we look around us, look at nature. Look at the orbiting of the planets. Through natural reason, we say, some great superior being must be behind all of this scientific wonder. And we come to that realization because of faith, not because of a science lab or a computer program, but because of faith. I found it interesting that many people I've met who have a problem believing in the existence of God would like us to think that there is no God to justify their own way of life, to justify their own vices. With God out of the way, I become the center of the universe and I can do whatever I do without any feelings of guilt. And then other people say if there really was a God, we wouldn't have natural disasters, tornadoes and tsunamis and hurricanes and so on. And little children wouldn't get sick. And good people wouldn't have to suffer because of illness. We are human. There is no escaping these things in our human nature. But there's a way of dealing with them. And those poor people who don't believe in the existence of God, I don't know what they do to deal with such situations. We who have faith can rely on that faith in the existence of God to get us through the most difficult times in the most difficult circumstances. Despite tragedies, our human life can truly be bearable and so much better when we believe in the existence of God.